would probably recommend a hysterectomy, but she does want you to follow up with your OBGYN to get further information.
Hello.
Hi, this is Rachel.
This is she.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So we got your urine culture back and it didn't grow any bacteria, so you're good there.
Great.
Heather made an order for the pelvic venogram. So they should be calling you to schedule that so that you can get an official diagnosis whether or not you have the pelvic congestion syndrome.
Perfect.
She says there's a procedure that can be done with interventional radiology where they put coils into the varicose veins that are in there. But in your case, she would probably recommend a hysterectomy. But she does want you to follow up with your OBGYN to get further information.
Okay. Okay, wow, that is a lot. Okay.
That is, yeah, I'm sorry. So, let me see. Do you need the number for Mountain Point?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Let me grab it. Hold on a second. Do you have any other questions?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I would call your OB right away. Just sometimes they're booked out a little bit, you know, and then when you get your venogram scheduled and done, then, you know, you'll already be scheduled with them. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I need a second.
Hey guys, don't mind my diaper box in the back. It's honestly just typical at this point, but it has been about 2 weeks since I got the call telling me that it is suspected that I do have pelvic congestion syndrome from the ultrasound that I previously got. So I am at the hospital again, and today I am here to get an MRI. I am feeling pretty anxious about an MRI just because I'm not typically claustrophobic, but I feel like I might be a little bit with this, and I'm just kind of like nervous about what they're gonna see and what they're gonna find, but I'm just really hoping all goes well. And I obviously, you know, wanted to document this journey for you guys. So I will keep you updated. I hope I'm not in here for too long, but I'm literally running on like no sleep. I got 3 hours of sleep last night, so I'm really hoping that I just fall asleep in the MRI if it's like 20 or 30 minutes. And I also took 2 of my daytime CBD gummies. I still have a discount code with them. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys, but that is also definitely gonna help calm my nerves. I'm hoping that all goes well. So I will touch base with you guys as soon as I'm done. I'm back. I'm in a daze. Honestly, the MRI was really not bad at all. It was really relaxing. The only stressful part was that I wasn't allowed to move at all, so I'm like sitting there not trying to move a muscle. And they did have to put an IV in my arm because it did have contrast. So they did that like halfway through, but hopefully my doctor, sorry guys, I'm so tired. I don't remember being this tired like since I had babies, and I seriously, 3 hours of sleep last night takes me right back to that newborn phase. But I should get those results from my doctor within a day or two, so let's hope and pray for good news. It's kind of like an awkward feeling though, because I'm hoping that it's good news in terms of how large the veins are and how congested they are. Ideally, it would be amazing for me to be able to get that non-invasive surgery done. And I am just hoping and praying that I do not have to get a hysterectomy. So I will keep you guys updated. Okay, quick little update. Yesterday was the day that I got my MRI done, and so today I got a call from my doctor, and it looks like the MRI showed that I do have a diagnosis of a pelvic congestion syndrome, and it is actually mild, which I am so happy about. The feelings that I'm feeling are that it's great that it's mild so that I have a reason behind why I've been feeling the way that I do, and there's a solution to it. I'm also super grateful that it's not severe because it's looking like I'm definitely gonna have a more optional route for how to treat it. So my family doctor who called me with the MRI results told me that I should switch over to a gynecologist. So I am going to get a gynecologist and have the MRI results sent to them, and they'll be able to recommend what form of treatment is going to be best for me. So I will be sure to keep you guys updated and let you know what form of treatment they recommend and what I decide to move forward with. So the next time you see me in this video, I will probably be at my gynecologist's office or just finished with them and telling you our plan of action for my treatment route. But I'm definitely feeling at peace because what looked like was going to have to be a hysterectomy originally seems like there's tons of other options, and like that isn't going to be the end game here. So that is definitely what I am still hoping and praying for. Okay, it has been a hot minute since the last clip that I filmed for this video, but I have a big update for you guys. I went and met with my OBGYN yesterday, and I got a lot of good information. I went to the OB that was supposed to be my OB for both of my babies until they got transferred up to the University of Utah because they were both high-risk pregnancies. Well, Beckham wasn't a high-risk pregnancy, but obviously I delivered him as an emergency C-section, and you guys know the whole story with that. So I didn't deliver with my regular OB, but he is absolutely incredible, and he knows everything I've been through with my kids. And so I just felt really comfortable going to him and getting his expertise since I did get the positive diagnosis of pelvic congestion syndrome. So when I went in for the appointment, I just told him that my goal was to figure out a treatment plan, and I kind of talked to him about some of the symptoms that I've been feeling. And this is what's really interesting. So when I first started making this video, it was about a month ago, and my pelvis really was just in like a dull ache, what felt like constantly. It just always kind of felt like I was on my period. Certain positions during intercourse were really uncomfortable, and I was just like, okay, I definitely need to find a solution. But it's been very hit or miss, like it's very infrequent. And so now I'm kind of questioning, okay, how tolerable is this? So when I went in, I told him, you know, the pain is kind of off and on. And some days I feel like I don't have any pressure in my pelvis at all. And some days it can be a little bit overwhelming. And with the diagnosis that I got, it is mild. So it makes sense because the diagnosis is there. So the dull pain is making sense. We are able to put a method to the madness type of thing, but it is mild. So it's not too bad, which I'm very, very grateful for. So we kind of started discussing treatment plans, and the first treatment plan that he told me about was when they do like a non-invasive surgery. It's a same-day surgery. They actually go through a vein in your leg, and they basically put like a catheter into the varicose veins in your uterus. They drain the blood, and then they coil off the vein so that the vein can't enlarge, is what I believe happens. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think I'm understanding it correctly. The recovery is you feel a little bit achy for like a week or so, but it's really not that big of a deal. So I was like, okay, that's definitely an option. Now, the only thing with that procedure is that I believe it has a pretty good success rate, but it's not like 100% successful. Obviously, it's expensive, and he gave me a packet to meet with the specialty doctors that actually perform that procedure because that is not what he does. Then the second option he gave me is a hysterectomy. You guys know we've obviously talked about this a little bit. Now, he actually performs hysterectomies himself, which made me feel really, really comfortable because I'm obviously very comfortable with him as my doctor. And so that brought me a lot of peace, but he did tell me that a hysterectomy is obviously going to be 100% successful. And he did say, you know, something that you really need to take into consideration is you literally will never be able to have another child. And obviously, you guys know we've had so many conversations about this, and we are definitely done with having kids, but it is just kind of scary. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of scary. It's just so permanent. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of hard to like
fully wrap my mind around that. But he did say that we would want to leave my ovaries, so I wouldn't need to be on like a hormone supplement, which is fabulous. And I basically would just have my uterus and my fallopian tubes removed. There was like one other thing that gets removed, but I can't remember what it is. And I wouldn't need any hormone treatment, like I said, and I would have no periods for the rest of my life, which that is definitely a positive, but it is an intense surgery. It's a major surgery, and he did tell me that because of my previous 2 C-sections, they would not be able to go through the, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but they would actually have to go through my belly button and then make 2 very small incisions on my abdomen. So I have to admit, when I heard that, I was just like, oh my gosh, my body is already like half scars. You guys know I have a C-section scar. I obviously have anchor scars from my breast augmentation. So I'm just kind of like, I really, really, really do not want any more scars, especially in like this region, you know what I mean? And I just was kind of like, it's such a major surgery. It would be 6 weeks off. I wouldn't be able to hold my kids for a couple weeks. It would be really expensive. I'd have to get more scarring on my body. It would eliminate the possibility of me ever changing my mind with kids. I'm only 27. Is this necessary? And after talking to Hunter and talking to my doctor, I was just like, you know what? I do not need to do this yet. I am not in enough pain. I'm not in enough discomfort. You know, there's obviously things that we can do during intimacy to make it more comfortable, and it really isn't bothering me on a daily basis. Sometimes it flares up and it's really bothersome, but it's infrequent. So it's kind of like, I just don't think it's the right decision right now. But the nice thing is that typically this condition gets worse when you have kids, and I've already had my kids, which is probably why I'm feeling it now, because I had Blakely a couple years ago. But it shouldn't get any worse, hopefully. And it does go away or lighten up significantly when you go through menopause. Obviously, I'm like 25, 30 years away from that. But if I feel like it does get worse, or if I feel like it does bother me more, I can always just start to consider my options then. It's not like it's ever gonna go off the table. And my OB was very kind to explain to me that there is absolutely no risk to my health with this procedure. It is purely about my quality of life, and it's not going to harm me if I don't take care of it. And if it's something that I can live with, then it's totally up to me if I want to get it treated. So Hunter and I kind of talked about it last night, and we just decided, you know, if I did anything, I would definitely do the coils before I did the hysterectomy. But even then, I'm just not feeling like I want to do a procedure that's gonna cause me to not be able to hold my kids for a week. I still would have to take 6 weeks off of any activity, and it might not be 100% successful, and I would have to get an incision in my leg, and it's kind of a lot. And I'm just kind of realizing, like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait and see if it really does bother me to the point of feeling like I have to get it treated. So this has been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but I'm kind of glad that I documented it, because I was in shock when I went to the doctor and I was like, yo, I think I have a UTI, and she sends me to get a pelvic ultrasound done, and they're like, oh, you need a hysterectomy. So I think we can all agree that original phone call that I put in the beginning of this video, that was just totally unnecessary to tell me. It was kind of ridiculous that she told me I needed a hysterectomy and that that's what they would recommend, because that is not necessary. And I definitely did not feel like my OB was recommending a hysterectomy by any means. He definitely told me I need to consider both options. He wanted me to meet with a specialist about doing the coil procedure first, and even he was hesitant to say, like, I think you should do this type of thing. And so I feel like she kind of jumped the gun on telling me that I needed the hysterectomy. But in the same breath, she did also say you need to confirm that with your OB, you need to go see your OB. So it's kind of like, I think she was just doing the best that she could. And I don't think she realized, you know, the way it would affect like a 27-year-old female being told that you need a hysterectomy. It's obviously very emotional. And I also didn't know, okay, if I have to get a hysterectomy, am I gonna have to be on a hormone supplement for the rest of my life? Are they taking my ovaries? Like, what is the actual situation? You know what I mean? So I'm just really, really grateful that this vlog is having a very happy ending. I'm good. I don't feel like I need to do a treatment plan yet, but I will tell you guys if it worsens. But as of the past like 5 or 6 weeks, I have been feeling great. I haven't been feeling any achiness aside from being on my cycle, which just ended, but that's like totally normal, obviously. So I'm feeling confident that I'm definitely making the right decision. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and kind of enjoyed this roller coaster ride with me and going to all my doctor's appointments with me. I tell you everything, and if I did end up having to get the hysterectomy, I wanted to make sure that it was documented. But I definitely am so grateful for the way that I am ending this vlog. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I will be back to my usual content with my next vlog, but of course, even though this video wasn't necessarily on brand for me, I still want to remind you guys to be brave like Beckham, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.